Okay, so time for the Insanity Peak guide. To begin with, just like last time, I'm going to really try and nab this clock as late as possible. So the rope will be swinging to the left, and then I'll use the triple spin movement to quickly climb the steps, along with very tiny jumps to clip the ground faster. Because the faster you land, the faster you can do your next jump up. So, when grabbing the rope here, I was really trying to maximize my distance for this by having the triple spin into the slide afterwards, because remember that a jump is a slower form of movement, so this will just let the rope run away from you. When I jump off the rope on the other end, this is where I will use the triple spin in the air to give me better aerial speed. Like so. Next, I try and make some fast slide spins towards the next rope, whilst obviously taking the mask because it's going to be useful for a damage abuse later on. The fast slides have to be timed properly, not too early or late, because otherwise you get a slower slide spin. I tried to use the first method from the Rude Awakening tutorial, because I think it probably is faster at this point, with a lot more time spent on it. But yeah, this will be like very prevalent in time trial movement as a whole. Like if you have the lengthy spaces provided, then that's properly timed slide spins are going to be very useful. Okay, so on the exit from this rope, I now triple spin for the boxes, and then we come to the steps afterwards. My movement had to be pretty on point here, because the rope that's coming after it was so tricky to catch, but it was like in the most perfect way, kind of tricky, in terms of what this run needed. So what I did was jump the first step, and then I do a spin so that steps 2 and 3 could have extra speed from the triple spin effect. And I once again did a slide into the rope to extend my distance to catch it. Now I do some spins in the air to increase speed once again, but also to make this whole skip that's coming up. So I'll be landing on the first step, and then the triple spin will actually make me over the hole, and then I will slide off of the second platform. Then when I approach the next 2 steps, I use the spin effect to move up these quickly. So notice how I didn't activate the spins quickly here, but delayed them so that I made the most of each spin, because there is no room for anything extra here, in terms of like a slide for extra speed or anything. So it's worth making the most of the movement that you're capable of using in the space you've been provided with. With the 2 boxes here, you spin one and slide the other, making sure you angled the slide, because if you don't angle the slide, then you'll just get blown up by the TNT. Then you will want to double jump after this to gain some height quickly, to get up the final few steps. And then once I get to the top, I then triple spin to catch this last rope. Okay, for this next part is pretty simple. I do 2 spins here for the extra speed whilst landing, then I'll bounce off the crate, because you want to get out that door as fast as possible. Then I'll just be doing slide spins up until the enemy, right down to the end of the corridor. So after breaking these 2 crates behind the enemy, this is where my triple spin was extremely important. I do the spin effect again into a slide jump to make what is, I would consider this level as God Cycle. This is now going to be 2 seconds faster than my previous video at this point from the rope RNG I've gotten, as I'm literally a full platform cycle ahead here. As I explained briefly last video, the phasing platforms are a global cycle. I will definitely put the different cycle definitions that I know of in the description of the video. But yeah, I theorized this platform being possible to make only if I got like God tier rope RNG. So I pictured it being possible in my head, and I really had to like clutch at straws here when I saw this opportunity ahead of me, because this was the only time I actually saw it being possible. So I'll play this out quickly. So yeah, I just about landed on that platform back there with the timing from the triple spin, because that was super important to make that cycle. So now I use the spin effect to quickly move through this door after I double jump up these steps. So I spin the boxes, do a little jump up, and then immediately try and use my triple spin to go through the door. Then I hole skip, so I do a few slide spins, and the hole skip onto the first platform, in kind of like the maze room as I call it, where the gem is. So I hole skip onto the first platform, then the moment the second platform appears, I try and hit the box as far forward as I can the moment it appears, and then I triple spin over to the cutscene area where Lani Loli is. Okay, so at this point, due to how exceptional the ropes were in this run, I now have a 575 split, which is by far the best time I've ever achieved at this point. I think the best I'd achieved before this was maybe a 6.3 or something. So this was insanely quick for me. So now at this point I was super nervous because I knew I had this special godlike run on my hands. So I was like, I mustn't choke this, and let's keep my composure. And I don't know if I did a great job, but I tried my best at this the chase section, I mean. But yeah, this whole section is going to be timing the slide spins correctly. So once again, too fast or too slow is bad. And every time there's a hole, I will be trying to use the triple spin over it. And there's a little tunnel at the end as well, actually maybe halfway through. There's a little tunnel where I triple spin out of it. And overall, I just hug the corners here as well. So I'm going to play it out until the first rope we get. Okay, so yeah, that chase part right there, there were definitely a few slide spins that were not on point. I was definitely like super nervous, but so I'm actually quite happy I made the best of that. Obviously I had to dodge for TNTs as well. There is one TNT that you can actually damage abuse and doesn't matter because you have a mask spare, but I like to save it, just for my own good. But now onto this rope. When you jump off this, you want to jump off this as early as possible, and then immediately triple spin to get the extra distance. So for the last chase, I will be doing the same things to save time. So I will just play this out, and I'll explain the TNT part at the end. Okay, so here it says I get 1598, and interestingly enough, the final freeze was 1596, so I lost time at the end here. Now, because the reason for that was because I did a very bad last corner, first of all. I kind of hit the wall and just lost a bunch of time to that, because I was like really panicky and just like get to the run to the finish essentially. But with the TNTs, what you can do is you can spin the 3 crates without hitting any of the TNTs. A TNT explosion is actually slower, from what I feel. So if you can avoid exploding the TNTs, then great, but it also puts your run at risk of missing one of the boxes. So I played it safe here. I was like, I'm taking this run, and it paid off because I got a really nice sub 16 run here. But yeah, it was the right option for me to bag the time rather than risk missing the time crates. But I'm definitely proud of this overall. It can definitely be brought down to a 14 with better chase section. It's just a bit more optimized. I hope this more in-depth breakdown has held out in one way or another, and I hope you've learned something new. Also, thanks to everyone who took part in the poll to clarify that you wanted this type of breakdown. I hope that I delivered to some extent. It's the first time, so I'm trying to get used to it. But it's really nice to teach people things. I love it. Always like helping people out. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. Take care, guys.